Hey everyone, this is Mast and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to try something a little bit different and I'm actually going to edit together pieces of a full game and talk about what I did in the game and why. So starting off, our team is doing a little bit of a weird start and I'm actually stuck 1v2 in the duo lane. It's not ideal for me, but as long as the team can be aggressive and get kills or buffs on the solo lane side, it's still going to be worth it overall. On the bright side for me, I'm still able to farm safely for the level 1 wave, and because I'm alone, I actually get more experience. That said, 1v2 it's pretty easy for them to invade, but since I'm alone, getting that buff doesn't actually set Rama too far ahead, because he's still getting less experience per wave. So the second wave comes, and I know that I can't clear this wave safely at all, at least not without my tower, so I let them push it into the tower. I don't contest it at all. After the wave, they decide to invade purple, which they should, and I know that most of Rama's arrows are down, and Fafnir isn't too scary at level 2. So I actually decide I'm going to push up for the third wave and clear it a little bit harder than I have the other two, just so I can try to secure a little bit more of the gold for myself. And I know that if they go on me, I'm going to take some damage, but I still got some health potions saved up, so I'm actually going to be okay. Now after the third wave, they invade our red after they've already invaded our purple on that second wave. And since it's going to be a little bit longer for them to take red than it is for purple, I actually push the fourth wave even harder, so I can at level 4 get a point into my mesmerize, so that if they gank me, I'll be fine because I can just mez them and then dash out, no problem. So finally, I'm left 1v1 in the duo lane with Rama. I have to keep in mind that this is a Rama with red buff and I'm not 100% sure where his support is. I do know that my support is on the other side of the map, so I'm 1v1 or even 1v2. So I just keep playing passive, do my best to kill the wave without losing gold to tower. I'm gonna be fine. In between the waves, even though he's got red buff, I'm actually starting to feel myself a little bit, and we go ahead and box some. I'm only doing this because I've got a health pot left, so I feel like I can sustain a little bit where he can't, so I want to poke him down a little bit if I can, so he doesn't feel too comfortable farming in the lane. Getting him down to 50% health should make him a little more cautious, and less likely to go for my purple buff, which is spawning pretty soon. So I come back to see that he's actually been able to get the purple buff anyways, which kind of sucks, but it's not surprising because I've been the only person on this side of the map for my team in like 5 minutes. Normally I feel comfortable enough playing on my own, but if I can get a little bit of pressure from support or jungle, at least they won't be able to just take any buff they want on this side of the map. Because nobody was rotating over to my side of the map and they were just constantly fighting on the solo lane side, it was really easy for their duo lane to take purple, red, and then eventually purple again in just 5 minutes. On the bright side, I was able to at least get red buff for myself, which was really good because that means I can easily 1v1 Rama in the duo lane, as his red buff is now going away. Sure enough, Rama still hadn't backed since he spent the time to invade purple again, and he got lazy a little bit once he tried to finally back at the wave. I was able to dash through the wave and hit my autos with red buff and full boot stun, doing a lot of damage. Ares did try to take the kill at the end as Rama was juking in his purple buff, but luckily I was still able to get it, and I got a decent lead in the duo lane. Finally, I've backed again, and this time I'm able to pick up a second item. I'm starting in a Crusher right now, which normally I would not recommend on AD carries, but I was messing with a weird build in this video, and that was the second item for it. So anyways, I'm coming back to the duo lane, still with red buff by the way, and Rama is pushing a wave onto me. He did make the mistake though of dashing onto me instead of just hitting me at max range with his auto attacks, so he went into mez range, which for me was perfect. I pop my mesmerize on him, reposition a little bit, and I hit so beautiful on both him and the wave, getting good damage onto him and clearing the wave at the same time. Now he's pushing up a little bit to start clearing my wave, even though the waves haven't collided yet, and I see a perfect opportunity to get some more damage on him. Since he doesn't have minions to hide behind yet at all, I'm able to chunk him with some autos and hit so beautiful again, taking him down to about 20% health. And at this point, I just start to clear the wave, waiting for my so beautiful cooldown to come back, and knowing that as soon as it does, I can aggress on him. And sure enough, I dash onto him, get the so beautiful, get a couple autos, and he's down, giving me a 2-0 lead in the lane. Now I could have dashed on him without so beautiful, not wait for the cooldown, but the thing there is I wouldn't have had the damage to actually get the kill, I just would have made him even lower. So now's a good time to back. I've already cleared the wave, so I can head back to base, get Crusher finished, run over a purple buff, and then my lane. And with purple reducing his protections and Crusher giving me 15 penetration, my autos are going to hit really hard against him, and I'm also about 2 levels up above him. So now I see Rama rotate into our jungle, and I also see that our team is heading straight towards him. Now normally it's going to be natural to want to rotate over there and try and get a kill on him. However, I know that I'm Apollo, I've got my ultimate up, and I see that the waves are still colliding right now. So I actually clear the wave first, secure a little bit of farm for myself, and know that if our team needs me to engage with them, I can just ult in. Sure enough, the team's able to pretty easily kill him. Fafnir rotates in for them and we're able to kill him as well, and that means that it's 4v0 around Gold Fury. which means we can easily grab that, get an even more of a farm lead, and get a really good lead as a team. So now I just head back to lane, I grab a couple of waves, and I pressure the tower a little bit. And at this point, I'm really ahead, my ultimate's up, and I'm not at all afraid to push alone because I've got Mesmerize and ultimate to keep me safe. Normally as an AD carry, it would be very dangerous, but it's important to remember that Apollo is not a normal AD carry. Because he's got that global ultimate, which is crowd control immune by the way, I've got Mesmerize, which is a 2-second crowd control at max rank, and I've got a dash, which will also disrupt people if you hit it right. So sure enough, when the gank comes, I can easily ult out, and I'm able to do so early enough that I don't even take very much damage, so I can actually stay in lane afterwards. So I clear a couple more waves, and I'm already pushing Rama to his tower again. I see Vulcan's fighting Fafnir in the jungle, so I'm basically using Vulcan as like a player ward, knowing that if anybody comes to gank, I can see them because Vulcan is in that spot right next to them. I'm bullying Rama with some max range auto attacks under his tower, not expecting that I can actually kill him, but just trying to get him low enough that he has to back and I can do more damage to the tower. Unfortunately, what I didn't realize from my vision of the map was that Fafnir had actually already ulted while fighting Vulcan. So when he ganks me in the lane, I end up taking a lot more damage than I'm expecting, and I have to actually use my beads to get out safely. I am able to juke Rama's ult and save my dash to juke the third ult, which is the most powerful shot, so at least I do live, but I do have to burn my beads in the process. So now I back to base, grab the third item of my build, which is Aussie. Now I know this build looks weird, I talked about it before, but I'm playing around with an early pen, no stacking build in this video. The idea is to basically shred through the base protections of gods and then start building in a crit, which is much stronger if you're shredding into their defense. That said, I don't think this build's worth it, it's just something I was trying at the time. So finally, back to the lane, I throw down a ward to spot out rotations, and I actually make a really aggressive move to clear the incoming wave at the tier 2 tower, even though the tier 1 is still up. I'd already seen that Rama was backing at the time, so I know he's not at the tier 1, so I can just push him there, he's still going to be rotating from base, and then I can try and aggress on the tower. So Rama does try to keep his tower up, he tries to defend it, and since I know I can't kill the tower while he's there, I actually try to fight him instead and get him really low. I end up ulting back onto him, assuming that I can either kill him if he doesn't ult fast enough, or burn his ult if he does ult fast enough, and then I'll just be fine, I can aggress on him at the bottom, or at least just burn his ultimate. Unfortunately, my ult misses, and then Fafnir rotates in very quickly, which was much quicker than I expected. I had the ward down, but I wasn't able to escape him in time. I've got no beads up, and I just get destroyed in a 1v3 situation. I do think that I would have gotten the kill 1v2, which is what I was expecting, but I really did not anticipate how quickly he was going to get to that lane as soon as he was passing on to that ward. So I ended up making a pretty decent misplay. I really should have just ulted out, honestly. I probably could have just walked out if once Morgan got that Athena ult onto him, but I was feeling like I could do it. Unfortunately, just made a misplay. So finally, I come back to the lane, and I'm able to finish off Rama's tier 1 tower, no problem. I've still got decent vision of the jungle, and my team is actually pushing up onto the mid lane, so I keep pressing Rama back to his tier 2 tower. Seeing that he's out of mana and that a couple of enemies are low in mid, I think it's safe enough that I can ult on him for the kill and then just go back to the tier 2 tower, see if I can take it out. Well, when low health Fafnir and Athena decide to fight me, I'm thinking they're idiots knowing that Camazotz is there, but not thinking he's going to have nearly enough damage to kill me. What I did not realize was that Morgan was already invisible and right there as well, and honestly, I don't even blame myself for dying in this situation, I just think it was really bad timing. Like, the fact that she was just coincidentally already invisible, I had no clue she was there, there was no reason I should have known she was there, and so she's got the burst that is going to be enough to kill me instead of me getting a couple of kills while they try and fight on me here. If the fight was just against me, Fafnir, Athena, and Camazotz, I feel like it would have been no problem, and I would have killed at least Athena, if not Fafnir as well. So now we're a little bit later into the game, nothing's really happened to me since that last death, but after a couple of teammates get picked, I have to run over to the Fire Giant to try and keep the enemy team from getting it. Camazotz gets wrecked by a Fire Giant knockup as he starts trying to get out, and it actually ends up being a really easy kill for me. I do decide not to chase Athena, even though she's pretty low, because I feel like she's either going to get away or she's going to end up baiting me into more of her team, and then I'll die from that. So instead I end up seeing Morrigan and try and chase her through the jungle. I pop my sprint thinking that she's probably going to go through mid to escape, but unfortunately she doesn't, and so while I'm there I just try to pressure the mid tower instead. Vulcan and Ares are still respawning at this point, which means we definitely don't have enough people to do Fire Giant. We've got 3 people and they've got 4 up on their team, which means we definitely don't have a chance. Sure, some of them were low, but we don't have the damage to do it. By the time we get the Fire Giant low, they're going to be able to rotate in and either kill us or secure it pretty easily. Without Vulcan, we don't really have good Fire Giant secure, so doing Fire Giant just seems like a terrible idea. Unfortunately, Chalk and Ratatosker don't feel that way, and the 2 of them alone definitely should not have tried to do it, which they did, and they end up getting wiped by Morrigan and Athena. So fast forward a few minutes and I'm back pressuring the tier 2 tower again because I have beads and my ultimate up. I throw down a ward to make sure I can spot out rotations in advance, and sure enough I get rotated on really quickly. I saw that there were 2 to 3 enemies already fighting in mid, so it doesn't surprise me at all that they rotate over. I dash for a little bit of distance away from them to make sure I don't take damage, and I get my ult off in plenty of time. And in fact, because they had so many people rotate to me in the right lane, I see that I have a chance to push the left lane and try and take that tower instead. Just some Apollo things. I know that the Gold Fury is down, which means it's a perfect time to split push left. They've got no important objectives over on the right side map for us, which means that they really don't have anything they can do because I'm gone. Finally, I finish off the tower and I start rotating over towards my team to see if I can finish off a couple of enemies or if I can just push the mid tower instead. Sure enough, I'm able to wipe out the tier 2 mid tower, and now it's time to back for full health and finish up my Deathbringer. By this point, their team just has the 1 tower left, and naturally I head straight to the right lane to see if I can finish it up. At this point, I've got a ward fairly deep in their jungle, which will help me spot out rotations, so I know if I'm temporarily safe enough to 1v1 Rama. I'm way ahead in build and my autos are shredding him, so it's a really good spot to fight if I can. He runs into the jungle hoping that he can escape, but as our team rotates in, he just ends up baiting his own team in, and Fafnir, Camazotz, and eventually Athena go down along with him. So at this point, it's 5v1, it's easy for us to fight. We wipe out the mid Phoenix, I'm able to take out the right tower and then the right Phoenix. We get 2 lanes of fire creeps, steal some buffs, and head back to base so we can get one final push. At this point, I've got enough money for Wind Demon, which means I have 55% crit chance now, and 3 very strong crit item passives with Wind Demon, Deathbringer, and Poison Dagger. So I'm coming back, and Vulcan is beating up Camazotz in mid lane, and unfortunately for Kama, he runs straight over to me. Couple autos and a So Beautiful lets me kill him before he gets his ult off, and from there I'm shredding Athena, killing her, giving us a 5v3 advantage. With their team starting to rotate, I start to pressure mid, keeping their team there, while our team's able to secure Fire Giant in the back 4v0. From there, it's still 5v3 with Fire Giant, 2 Phoenixes down, I can grab a quick kill on Morrigan, we rush into the base, and we wrap up the game. So that's it for this gameplay. It's very different from what I've done before, but I really like it a lot personally, so please let me know if you do too. Post commentary is actually a really great way for me to record games, and I think it lets me teach you guys a little bit more about what I'm doing than I could when I'm just commentating at the time. It's a little bit different, so I could do both as well. It's not too hard to do commentary at the same time, but I actually really enjoy doing it this way if I can, so again, please let me know what you think. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like down below, and other than that, I'll see you all next time.
I've been seeking for the glory. Say my name. And I've been trying to write my own story in the search for fame. I'm sitting here in this empty room, walls keep tumbling down.